Today's show is brought to you by State Farm agent Ryan McDevitt. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ryan McDevitt is ready to help you combine home and auto and save in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. Call Ryan today at 630-796-2662. That's 630-796-2662. Or visit his website, ryanismyagent.com. That's ryanismyagent.com. And make sure to mention Sports Talk Chicago. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I want to start today with this. A divided kingdom will never reign. Common sense, right? If you fight against one another, you'll never get what you want. If there's division and no unity, nothing will be accomplished, and no one will take you seriously. I hope sabermetricians are listening to this right now. See, the latest PECOTA projections came out. These projections come out every year. They predict win and loss totals for every major league team. They also predict the standings in each division. They said, and I quote, the Chicago White Sox would have less wins than the Cubs. No, that's not a joke. They said the Cubs would go 85-77, finishing second in the NL Central. And the White Sox would go 83-79, finishing third in their division. Right. The White Sox would win less games than the current team retooling. Right. Unbelievable. Talk about a disgrace. Talk about an embarrassment. This is why I was happy to see this. All of you sabermetricians who think baseball is played on a computer, explain this one. You can't. You can't. Nothing to say other than, yeah, it's wrong. This is why I put virtually no stock into stuff like this. Let me see real numbers. Let's see a game, a real game. 9 innings, played for real, not on a computer. That's what I want to see. These projections and war and all this stuff is a joke. And this proves it. If I came on this show, okay, and I said, I guarantee you the Cubs will win more games than the White Sox, you would all hate it. You would all say I'm way off, I'm probably a shill, who knows what you come up with. But PECOTA says it, and it's okay. Right. This is why I loved that this came out. It divides the sabermetric community. Finally. No more unity. No more we're going to take over the game. Now, I've seen sabermetric people say this is wrong. This is a joke. Stop doing projections. I've seen it. Finally. What do you know? I've been saying it for 3 years. This should prove it. In what universe are the White Sox going to be worse than the Cubs in 2021? How is that even possible? I looked at the projected lineups for both teams. The White Sox are going to be stacked. 83 wins, more like 90 at least, if not more. Deep starting rotation: Giolito, Keuchel, Lynn, Cease, Kopech, Lopez, Rodon. 1-9, the best lineup in baseball. The Cubs have nothing. No pitching. Who knows who their fifth, even fourth starter is going to be? We don't know. And a similar lineup to before. Nothing special. Just an okay group of guys. They'll win 85 games, yes. But they're not going to do better than the White Sox. Give me a break. I'd love to know what goes into these projections. I put this out on Twitter. You can follow me at Jon Z Sports and check it out. In 2015, the year the Cubs won 97 games, made it to the NLCS, PECOTA said they'd win 82. PECOTA said the Cubs would be a near 500 team in 2015. They weren't. Couldn't have been more wrong. And here too, couldn't have been more wrong. That's why I was so happy, actually, to see this happen. Finally, we can all agree projections are a joke. Took you long enough to realize it, but it's true. Look, baseball, as much as people want it to be, is not played on a computer. Not yet. It will be. Not yet. There is a human element. You can't simulate it. This isn't MLB The Show. You can't simulate a season and then crown yourself the World Series champion. No, you play every game. 162. That's why PECOTA is a joke. And every year I see people defend them and put stock into these projections. Are you kidding me? This proves, partially, that Sabermetrics are a farce. You're going to tell me, seriously, the Sox are going to lose more games than the Cubs. They're going to finish third in their division. Obviously, this computer has no brain. If it did, it would know, the White Sox got much better this offseason. Top lineup, 7 starters, 5 spots. You would think, common sense, they'd be a better team than the Cubs, projections-wise, and reality. But no. No, PECOTA says they're going to be bad, so let's just digest it and take it as truth. Sure. This is why I hate WAR, I hate PECOTA, I hate all those projections. WAR is an approximation. It's not a real stat, it's an approximation. It's not like tallying up home runs, tallying up RBIs. No. Just approximate it on a computer. And by that number, that determines who the MVP is, who the Cy Young is. Players get money. They get bonuses for winning those awards. So let me get this straight. Players could win or lose out on a lot of money because of a projection, because of a computer. And we're all okay with that. This is a wake-up call. This PECOTA projection is a wake-up call. Stop making the game a computer. Stop ruining the game with your fancy stats and your projections and your approximations and your regression lines. I don't want to see it. I'm so happy this happened. I really am. People are starting to realize this whole thing's kind of a joke. It's very shady. You know, when they brought in Theo Epstein, Theo said to the commissioner's office, to everybody, admittedly, these advanced stats have ruined the game. I feel a shift. I can feel it, finally. They hired Ken Griffey Jr. to be a part of the commissioner's office. Theo's there. This stuff comes out. Maybe, just maybe, the tides are shifting a bit. I would hope. In 20 years, if baseball continues to adopt these sabermetrics, the game's going to look so much different in a bad way. It could become unwatchable. Seriously. What, eventually we're going to have robot umpires and what else? Name it. It's coming. They've already kept the rules from last year for this year. 7-inning doubleheaders, extra innings. When will it end? When will baseball be what it's supposed to be? Playing all 9 innings? No computers? No projections? No estimations? Just the human element playing the damn game. It's unbelievable. It really is. And of course, you're not going to hear the maker of PECOTA change his mind. He'll stand by his numbers. Through and through. That's what really gets me. How do you stand by numbers like that? Must have been a bug in your computer, because that's a joke. Maybe a virus overtook it or something. Or maybe, just maybe, you don't know enough about baseball. Just a thought. Maybe you didn't play it. Maybe you don't watch. You just sit in front of your computer and run simulations. That's what it sounds like to me. Stop ruining the game. That's why I said in the open, a kingdom divided will never stand. This has divided some sabermetric people. Finally. I've seen legitimate data scientists and people say, how'd you get to these numbers? How'd you get to these projections? Good. Keep speaking. If you don't, this will become the norm for baseball. Speak up and say something, please. So, I guess it brought a good thing. As backwards as these predictions are, they brought a good thing. People are starting to wonder. They're starting to ask questions. Why should I believe you? That's the question. Why should I trust your data? How do you know? You're right. We were just told these will help the game. They're all correct. Don't ask any questions. They're all correct. They're going to benefit you, the fan. You're going to know more about your player, more information. No. What it is a farce. That's what it is. PECOTA proved it. We should be questioning all the numbers put out by everybody who claims they're a data scientist. Hell, even WAR is contested. Baseball Reference and Fangraphs have different wars. Is that not a sign? I'm asking. Is that not a sign that something's up? We have to start asking questions. And PECOTA gave us a chance to do it. We can't just take this stuff at face value. Baseball is not played on a computer. How in the world could a computer program say, truthfully, the White Sox will be worse than the Cubs? That shows you it's a farce. That shows you it's a joke. And it's so funny. It's so funny. There are some people within sabermetric communities who still support this, who still say PECOTA is correct. If I said that on the air, I know I'd get toasted. And rightfully so. It's wrong. My point being, though, there are respected people, supposed data scientists, who say that's correct. Good job, PECOTA. And they're off the hook. We have to be vigilant. If you want baseball to become a computer simulation, and so be it, don't say anything. If you want baseball to be what it was before, what you grew up watching it as, you better speak out now. Here's a great time. This shows you that some of this stuff doesn't really add up. And personally, I'm done. You know, I tried. I really did. I made a concerted effort to bring in WAR. Sometimes I use it as a reference. And I look around and I see players being overrated, underrated. When we talk about the Hall of Fame, Chase Utley somehow is a 70 WAR, so he's an automatic Hall of Famer. You've got guys with better totals having less of a WAR and falling off the ballot. I don't know what kind of math this is, but I don't trust it, personally. Not one bit. And for those of you who are on the fence, I encourage you to look up PECOTA projections from years past. Compare to what really happened. Compare the projection to the reality, and you'll realize they didn't get many right. They said the Cubs would win 82 games in 2015. They won 97. Think about that. Now they're saying the Sox will win 83. Don't buy it. Don't fall for the hype. Think for yourself. That said, I know the White Sox will be better, without question. And I do know this. These projections are flat out wrong. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Warren Sapp comes up next, so stay tuned. Hey, do you want to make some money this weekend? What if I told you I could offer you $250 free to bet on any game you want? Here's what you have to do. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. You must be 21 plus. You must be an Illinois resident. You could bet $250 free on any game you want for this upcoming weekend. NHL, NBA, college basketball. Lots of stuff going on right now, and it's a great time to put down some money and win a whole lot more back. That's sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. You have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.